Yes, brother, this is Shay. The video today is about the feeling of anxiety and how it's also close to feelings of anticipation. So if you experience, when it comes to sex or before initiating sex, these feelings of anxiety, it may be in the moment or even days or hours before leading up to that, then this is for you. What we'll be talking through is what happens when these feelings come up, how do they feel, what sensations happen, and how it can quite easily actually feel like something else when we use a different word as well. I'll explain what I mean. So let's jump straight into it. Why is it important that we understand the importance of the language that we use around the feelings? Well, because it really determines the outcome. The feeling comes first, then we create words around it, and that's what we focus on. And I'm going to bring it to life in a second, but why this is so important to understand is because we are able to shift the experience that we're having if we shift the words that we're using. So let's take this as an example. Let's say you are going to have intimate sex with your partner or with somebody that you're seeing, right? And you start to have these feelings that you previously described as anxiety, this feeling of anxiety coming up in the body. So just notice how that feels for a moment, like just whilst you're watching this, whilst we're talking this through, just imagine that moment. So perhaps you have like a butterfly feeling in the stomach, or there's this feeling of like sick or tightness in your stomach, or a feeling of tension, contraction, or a lump in the throat. Just notice for you, what are those feelings of anxiety? Just take a moment to do that. And now I'd like you to think about the same situation. So you're going to have sex or initiate sexual intimacy with your partner or the person that you're seeing. And I'd like you to imagine that you're feeling anticipation about that. And just notice from that place of feeling anticipation, what are the sensations, what are the feelings that come up in the body then? Anticipation usually can present very similar feelings, this butterfly feeling or a tightness or like a knot in our stomach, but the word feels very different, right? Just think about how that feels in the body when we say the word, I feel anxious, or I feel like I have anxiety, versus I feel like I'm anticipating, have anticipation. It feels a totally different kind of word. And that is the power that just making this very small shift to the language that we're using, it can just put us in a slightly different frame of mind. Now, I'm not naive enough to say, and you know this, that just making this one small shift changes it all. But what we're tracking for here is a small step forward. And if this is about using the tools and techniques to take small steps, and if just changing one word from when we were feeling this anxiety feeling, shifting it in our minds to me saying now, okay, I used to feel anxious, now I'm feeling anticipation, that's a small step forward. It feels more open as opposed to closed and tight. So what's the next step here? Well, in that moment when we have these feelings of anticipation, we're doing one out of two things. We're either asking ourselves what if questions, or we're telling ourselves beliefs about what we can or can't do. And it's really important to understand which one of those is going on, because then you will know what to do next to get this sorted so that you can stay hard during sex. So that you can identify which stage you're at, I've put together a free 2-minute video, I call it the sex loop. And in the comments below, you'll see the link to that video. So here is what to do next. First is to click on the link in the comments below. Second, that will take you straight to the video, watch the video. Third, identify which of the stages you are at, because then by doing that will give you a clearer understanding of what to do next, so that you can get the right tools specific to the stage you're at to get this sorted. Now, I've also included on there a free guide so you can see the number one mistake that men make that leads to a permanent erection problem, so that you can avoid that mistake. So click the link below in the comments, go and watch that sex loop video and just see which stage you're at.